So he's back. He's changed orientation this time. He's arse about hoot, as they say in Scotland. Well, I think they do anyway. So hello. Today I'd like to take a look at this, which is what is it? It's a Ford Anglia owner's handbook from the sort of Anglia days, you know. Nice, sweet. Anyway, it's all about a Ford Anglia. They were made in Dagenham, which is in Essex, in near London, you know, and they're really good cars. In actual fact, my uncle had one. My uncle Alan had one, and he had it for years. So you can see from the date, it's 1964. So it's very much a 60s motor. And you know, introducing your car. Hello, car meet owner, owner meet car. You know, hello, I say. Is that the ashtray? So there you go. You got all the controls were very, very basic, but it was actually a lovely car. I've been in it many times. Obviously, my uncle was driving, not me. I was only about 5, but in fact, I probably wasn't even 5. But there again, it was a very well. It was sort of almost 50s with its retro kind of 50s look. You know, they still had the chrome feel to it. You could imagine Elvis kind of quiffing his hair in the mirror, you know, because it was that kind of era, and I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. Big old steering wheel on it as well, because there was obviously no power steering in those days. It was all down to the driver's elbow, you know, elbow grease, as it were. But well, my uncle had it until it just rotted. The tin worm got it in the end, and it just literally just fell to pieces in front of his eyes. Fords in those days weren't renowned for being that sort of well built. That's certainly not true of today's Fords. That's a fact. I love Fords. In actual fact, owned loads of them in my time. But in this sort of era, they were sort of specialising in rotting. give it 10 years and it was looking like a tea bag. You know what I mean? But there's all your choke and everything. Choke is obviously the thing you used to pull for the carburetor when it was cold weather. It would make the fuel rich, so it would allow it to start more easily. And as the engine warmed up, you'd push the choke back in. Obviously, you didn't need that extra richness because it was then the engine was warm. But yeah, it gives you a whole load of. Excuse me, it's the grape juice. I blame the juice of the grape, innit? It makes you belch. Routine servicing. So it's got it all. There's not many pictures, which is why I'm flicking through in it. But it tells you everything that you do, that you have to do. And of course, you would have to grease. You would have a grease gun, and you would grease all these different various points. It was quite a lot of work actually for the owners in those days. You know, I suppose that the young ladies used to get their cars serviced at the garage, but the blokes would tuck in. You know, I know that my old dad did, although he didn't have an Anglia. He had another car which was a Wolseley 1500, which had just as much grease point workload. And there you go, all the filler plugs, filler plugs. Yeah. The U-German, the universal joint. I remember once I was driving a Ford Capri and that snapped and the darn thing went up through the boot. It was it made a legal entry into the car. You know, it kind of broke in. But what was that joke? What was that joke about this? I can't remember now. There was a corrupt policeman, and the joke was that some drink driver who was also a policeman whacked into two lads that were walking down the road. It's not that funny a joke actually, but it's a bit sad. But I'm going to tell it anyway. So this corrupt, drunken policeman runs over 2 young lads in a road, and his mate comes along, who's equally as corrupt. And one of the young lads gets, goes through the windscreen of the car, and the other one gets sort of punched over the fence, into the neighbour's garden sort of thing. And so the corrupt policeman says, right, he goes, it's as simple as this, Bob. He says, what we're going to have to do is go, we'll have him for breaking and entering, and we'll have him for leaving the scene of the crime. Anyway, it's a bit sick, that joke. I hope you find it of some mirth. I have these strange Builder Bob jokes trickling through my deranged brain, which I find amusing. And other people think, what the heck are you talking about, boy? Anyway, there you go. General care. He was the brother of Major Jump. Yeah, I'm joking. No, so there you go. Axle point, jacking point. Sorry, not axle point. And you obviously took the old chrome thing off with a wheel brace. Yeah, my uncle had good fun with his anyway. He had it for years, and he enjoyed it. But then he inherited my mum. Well, he didn't inherit. He bought it off my mum, a Volkswagen Beetle, which he loved even more. So there's your fault finding stuff. All very good, useful. I noticed this book is actually grease fingerprint free, so it could suggest in many ways that whoever had the car had no problems with it, did they? Because otherwise it would be covered in greasy fingerprints like my manuals always were. Anyway, that's Jimmy. I'll leave you on the happy one. He's gone to sleep again. All the very best. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you've got this far, you're nuts as well, and but I really appreciate it. Cheers. Have a good one.